Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Lucas. If anyone wants to request any type of movie review, re-review, random thoughts, streams, commentaries, video game playthrough, random topic, whatever the case, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. PayPal, Cash App, links are down below in the info box, and I will get to it as soon as I possibly can. So, Avatar. You know what's funny about Avatar is, on this channel, started in 2010, this might be one of the earliest reviews I have on this channel. That's back when you could only have like 10-minute parts. For those who don't know, yes, YouTube only limited yourself to 10 minutes. So sometimes we would have to separate them 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 parts. I think this was one where it was 5 parts because I talked about it for almost an hour. Because I don't think this review will be that long, I don't think. Because that was when, the hype and the hoopla. I did not see Avatar in the theater, but I saw it when it came on DVD around 2000, somewhere in 2010, because I worked at a video store. Yeah, video store. What's that? Video store. VDO. Why can't I not fucking talk? VDO store. Called Mr. Movies. I don't know why I can't fucking talk. It's been a hell of a night. I'll just put it that way. Hell of a night. But all the hoopla, it became the biggest film. It's still the biggest film of all time. It's still the most successful film of all time. It's made almost 3 billion, like 2.9 billion. It was the first film to make 2 billion. James Cameron, the last film he had made was Titanic. Came back with this, and it got nominated. It won Best Visual Effects, Cinematography, and Art Direction. It was nominated for Best Picture, nominated for Best Director. The Hurt Locker won, which I think deserved it, because I like The Hurt Locker. And there's other films that I would have put over this anyway. Yes, I like The Blind Side, the true story of it, yeah, not going to get into, but I like Sandra Bullock's performance. She won the Best Actress Oscar that year. District 9, which in a way is kind of the version of this film I prefer, is District 9. Because that's a human who eventually joins with aliens to fight the other humans, and then that human becomes one of the aliens. Only here is the Avatar body. In that film, it was mutation. But District 9 was much more my kind of movie. I thought the characters were a bit more interesting. I thought the environment was more intriguing. It was definitely bloodier and violent. And funny enough, that made me think more of a James Cameron film than this movie did. But anyway, I like District 9. I mean, James Cameron is one of those guys where I love his early work. The Terminator, not counting Piranha 2, because he got fired or quit, whatever the hell happened, and then whatever. But the Terminator, Aliens is my favorite film of all time. I like The Abyss quite a bit. Terminator 2, True Lies. Titanic I was not big on, especially the first hour. The first half of that film I think is very boring. This one, while the first half is not as boring as Titanic, I probably like this film even less because Titanic, the second half with the survival, there's digital, but there's some pretty good practical stuff in there and stunt work. Like, there's a digital in that, but I see a lot more real stuff happening, practicality compared to this. And anyway, before I go on with that, James Cameron wanted to do this film for years. This was his dream project, pretty much. I've read that he had this idea since he was 19. He wanted to do it in the 90s, but it was too expensive. And he also said that the technology was not there. When he saw stuff like Gollum become a reality, he thought the technology is now here. He started prepping it, and it took like 4 years from pre-production to everything else to get this made. And Fox at first didn't want to do it because they knew it'd be expensive, and it was at first going to go to Disney, which is ironic because now it is Disney since they bought Fox. So any future movies like Avatar 3, Fire and Ass coming out will be Disney. So it's ironic, yeah. If Disney eventually got what they wanted, I guess. Go figure. But yeah, this came out and it just became a huge, huge movie. What's weird about this film, though, is that when it was in theaters, people talked about it. Sadly, I remember there were stories of people ending their lives because Pandora was not real and they wanted to be in Pandora. I hope that has stopped when these new ones come out. I'm not going to make fun of that. I just feel very sad when I hear that. Because I could just imagine what was going through their lives to result in that. I feel bad. That it's sad. Not sad as the pathetic, sad as in I feel bad. For some reason they felt they needed to do that. The story, I know everyone, not everyone, a lot of people say it, but I agree. The story is very familiar. Whether it be Dances with Wolves or The Last Samurai, whether it be hell, fucking Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. I mean, hell, there are many films I love that are not original. There's many films I like that are very familiar. I always talk about this film that's over here. You can't see it because of the poster over here, but Leviathan, 1989 film. It's very much like Alien, John Carpenter's The Thing, mix of them, but put it underwater. Oh, Richard Crenna is kind of like Wilford Brimley in The Thing. So yeah, that's familiar as well, but that's the type of movie I get more out of based on my tastes. Practical effects, practical special makeup effects, the cast, the type of characters, the type of humor, the music, all the elements combined, much more entertaining, and it's not fucking 3 hours long as well. The stuff that's familiar, it does make me go, I would just rather watch other stuff. Hell, there's a film called Men of War with Dolph Lundgren, which I think is highly underrated. What's the plot of that film? Dolph Lundgren, with a group of people, are hired to go to this place where these natives are at, get them to fuck off, because this company wants this stuff here, the minerals, to make a lot of money off of it. Dolph Lundgren meets up with a native. He learns, and others learn their culture. He falls in love with the girl. Eventually decides to go against who he was with. Him and some others decide to join the natives. And then them get into a big battle with it's not the military, but it's the human bad guys. Of course, here at Men of War, everyone's human, but I know it seemed thin, but it's just like a guy hired to get the natives out, learns their culture, meets the girl, joins their team along with a few others, just like in this. Was it Joel David, the guy from Hatchet, and Michelle Rodriguez and such? They join the cause. They go up against the people who they were with in this battle at the end, so that these natives could keep what they have and get the oppressors out. It's a common theme you've seen in a lot of other stuff. I kind of sit here and go, maybe I expect more out of James Cameron, who gave us Aliens, gave us The Terminator. And I'm like, this was your dream project all this time to make this basic as fuck story that's routine as fuck? I said it back to the day, I say it now. For me, this was a 3-hour glorified effects reel. That's a story in it, but it's a story I don't give a fuck. Characters I don't really give a whole lot of fuck about. It's more about the visuals. If the visuals get to you, if the visuals make you love it, if the visuals make you champion it, okay, nothing else I can say about that. I will give merit. The event, some of the visual effects are really good. Some of them look like it's one of those things that's some of the faces of the Na'vi and the cat-like eyes, they do look really good, but then sometimes when they're doing movements, you can tell how effects ridden it is, where they don't move quite like they should, or I wouldn't say rubbery, but they just move not as fluid as they should. These little things you see here and there in wide shots. Or there's bits like when Sigourney Weaver's character gets hurt, wounded, and they try to get her into this Na'vi body, and they're carrying Sigourney Weaver, and you see it's just they CGI her face and a CGI body, and I'm like, that looks really bad. But some of the effects do look good, especially for a film from 2009. But I mean, the James Horner score. You know what? I just saw the film again. I don't remember a damn bit of the score. The story. You have a guy who's in a wheelchair. His twin brother died. You don't really get a whole lot about the twin brother. Him wondering, how was their relationship, how close they were, how not close they were. It was just a means to an end. It felt like there was going to be a lot more to that, where you have this guy who looked like you, but he could walk and you couldn't. But I don't know. I thought a lot more would be done with that. He gets this chance, and then the plan is to get into these bodies they made of the Na'vi. And the Na'vi, listen, I don't mind the eyes. The rest of them look ugly as fuck. I never liked the design of the Na'vi. Never did. 10-foot tall, blue, smurf-looking motherfuckers who plait their hair into any extension that has a fucking hole in it. And they're so tall and lengthy, they literally don't play for the LA fucking Lakers. Great, a bunch of blue basketball freaks. Part of the Blue Man Group. I never liked the designs. I always thought they looked ugly and shitty. Not so much the effects on the face, but I think the designs suck. They look ugly as shit. And to sit there for 3 fucking hours looking at these lengthy ass... I'm waiting for them to have all basketball shorts. It'd be fucking Lurch or... I did someone from Bosnia ready to go and play for the MB fucking A. Tall ass, lengthy ass Smurfs. And... I hate the designs of them. So I don't give a shit about the Na'vi. The creatures... The designs are there. I would say, I guess, the flying bird creatures, I didn't mind their design. The others, I'm like, whatever. They're different, but I'm indifferent on them. And why did this story need to take 3 fucking hours to tell? I don't know. I don't think it did. Sam Worthington, from what I understand, he was just living in a car until he got this. Later, he would get Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans and Terminator Salvation, and then not a whole lot after that, some direct-to-video stuff. Sabotage he was in. And then Avatar 2, Avatar 3, 4, 5, however fuck many there will be. He plays the lead. Zoe Saldana plays the female Na'vi that Sam Worthington has the hots for, which I don't know why, because she don't look much. Like I said, these are ugly fucking characters. I wouldn't fuck that with a 10-foot pole or from 10 feet away. Although they just do their fucking hair extensions at the end, plug him in, just like I'm sure Jimmy Tammy wants to plug a fucking USB up his ass and attach it to the internet, since he loves AI so much. Can't have anything practical anymore. At least for James Cameron. I still remember the interview. And James Cameron, on a side note, I used to really like the guy in terms of, like, as a talent, as a filmmaker. Aliens, to repeat, is my favorite film of all time. I love The Abyss, Terminator 1 and 2, True Lies. There's his Titanic and all the hype and I'm king of the world when he won the award. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, dude, okay. I think Linda Hamilton took his balls in the divorce, whether she put him as earrings or put him around her neck like she was fucking Sergeant Andrew Scott with ears. But I think Linda Hamilton took his balls in the divorce because, like, during this film, it's like, the only thing people can eat are vegan plant food. Fuck you. I'll eat whatever the fuck I want. What was it? He doesn't like guns. Which is funny because there's guns in this and all the other films. Because he goes, oh man, if I made the Terminator, I regret having that with all the guns. Fuck you, pussy. And I get people change their minds on movies, but he changed them like that. He likes AVP. He said that during an Ain't It Cool News. Remember that website from back in the day? Ain't It Cool News? He said in the website, I like AVP. And I was like, oh, yeah, it's a piece of shit. Which it is. Oh, I like Terminator Genesis. Oh, yeah, that movie sucks. Oh, I like Terminator Dark Fate. I don't know. I said, well, make up your fucking mind, dude. Because I don't know why you would cheer for Terminator Dark Fate since it did the same shit that Alien 3 fucking did to your fucking characters, but hey. Only you were producing it this time. And then the AI, like, he told about the dangers of AI with the Terminator, but then he's in love with AI because I need them to deal with my movies, like Aliens and True Lies on Forte. Yeah, and they look like shit. I could see them, clips that's why I didn't buy them. I'll stick with the shit I have. 35mm of Aliens and 35mm True Lies. I'll stick with that. But anyway, and then this, like, now he's, okay, he wants to do something different. He loves the Avatar world. It's successful. Be my guest. I don't have to be at your party. But Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, she doesn't do a bad job acting-wise or character-wise. I don't really have a lot of whole issues with her character. It's just, I don't care for the look of the Na'vi. Sigourney Weaver, cool to see her in there. I like Sigourney Weaver. So I didn't mind her character. I have no issues with that. Giovanni Ribisi, just a bureaucrat, dickhead. I always remember the line reading he had. It's just a bunch of trees. You know he's a bad guy because he's one of those bad guys that when you first see him, he's got this fucking tie business. He's got a little mini golf thing. Whenever you see someone with a mini golf thing putting, you know they're a fucking bad guy. So he just, typical one-note villain. Stephen Lane as the villain. Sometimes he's hamming it up, sometimes he's not, but Michael Biehn was in talks, and he thought for a couple months he was going to do it, but it seemed like, well, James Cameron, he's got Sigourney Weaver, if he put me in it, it's just going to be aliens again. What's wrong with that? There's a scene where Sigourney Weaver and Stephen Lane go face to face, like, verbiage-wise. How cool would that have been if it was Sigourney and Michael Biehn? That would have been cool. But maybe they thought it'd be just, he was the villain in The Abyss. Whatever. I would have preferred Michael Biehn. I really do. I don't mind Stephen Lane. I liked him in that movie VFW, but I would have preferred Michael Biehn. Because I think it would have brought more intensity to it, for me. I'm not saying Stephen Lane lacks intensity. I just say Michael Biehn would have done more of it to me. Low key, which I probably would have preferred in this. Michelle Rodriguez pretty much plays the same type of character she does, but I don't mind her. I liked her in Battle Los Angeles. I didn't mind her in this. I forgot, spoiler alert for a film. Well, everyone's seen this fucking. I forgot that they killed her off. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's why she's not in the sequels. They killed her off. They kill off Sigourney Weaver, but apparently she's in the second one. Playing a daughter? I didn't see the second one. I don't ever care to see the fucking second one, let alone the third one. There's a 3 hours or more of this bullshit, which I don't give a fuck about this world. I don't give a fuck about these goddamn little mini islands that for some reason have this fucking waterfall keep falling. Forgive me if I missed the point of how this happens, but why is it that there's a little island in the fucking air, but there's a goddamn waterfall that keeps falling and it just never runs out of water? I don't know how the fuck that works. Maybe they did explain it. I guess I don't give a whole lot of shit to look it up. There are parts of this that does remind me of Fern Gully, the last rainforest. And it goes through stuff that you know where it's going. When he gets separated, you know he's going to meet the future love interest. He does meet the future love interest. They're not going to trust him at first. He's going to get his way into it. He's going to give information to the military. He's going to learn their culture. He's going to learn to like them. He's going to learn to love the world. He's going to fall in love with the girl. The girl's going to fall in love with him. The girl's with this guy, but she's going to go fuck that guy. I'm going to go with this guy, the lead guy. Oh, there's this bird that no one has been able to catch. So, I bet the lead guy, yep. Later on, the lead guy catches that bird that everyone says he can't do. Well, whenever you say you can't do it, someone in the movie, more than likely the lead, is going to do it, which does happen. The military's going to fuck everything up. So everything's going to be in the dire straits. They're going to find out Sam Worthington's full of shit. They're going to be pissed that he's full of shit. They're going to leave him to die because he's full of shit. They're going to get arrested. They're going to get out. They're going to go back. They're going to stage a final battle against the military. They do. And end scene. Like, you know where it's going. People say it doesn't matter because it's more about the visuals. Again, that's cool. Just the visuals were not enough for me. And even then, like, the visuals, like I say, if I don't like the design of the Na'vi, I don't give a shit how they look. Again, I think they're just lengthy and thin and ugly to look at for 3 fucking hours. The world, there's some neat stuff early on, like the little, like, floating jellyfish type of things that are like a sign to Zoe Saldana that there's something up in a good way with Sam Worthington's character. The action scenes, obviously, because it's all on a computer, it's very, very digital. And maybe back then this was crazy. Now it just reminds me of every other fucking Marvel superhero overridden with CGI battle scene. Whether it be fucking Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, Black Widow, Avengers, Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, when they're fighting in Wakanda, that part. Just reminds me of any number of those stuff. Now, granted, this came out before those, but or like Lord of the Rings, which I never liked Lord of the Rings. I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. Maybe that's the thing. If you're more into Lord of the Rings, this would be more for you. I don't like Lord of the Rings, any of them. If I think of Peter Jackson, I think of Dead Alive, Bad Taste, The Frighteners, and such. Meet the Feebles. I'm not into Lord of the Rings. I'm not into this. The characters did not interest me. I like Sigourney Weaver. I don't mind Zoe Saldana. That's about it. Sam Worthington, I don't blame the actors. Just the characters is very plain. Just because they go through all the routine things you figure you don't go through. And it's not that he lacks personality. It's just as a character, he seems like a character I've seen a dozen times, but whether the actor, the charisma, something else draws me more towards him than this character. I don't, like, to repeat, I don't know why the fuck this needs to be 3 goddamn hours long. Like, the fact that the mineral they're finding is unobtainium. Like, really? That's the best you could come up with? Unobtainium? Which I know there's other movies that have used that as well. Unobtainium. I think before and after this. It's funny that when the Stephen Lane has the big mech suit, which seems like the power loader from Aliens, only that was done for real, and that's why I can still watch Aliens and go, wow, that looks cool, because that's a physical thing that's really there with a physical puppet like the Xenomorph. I could watch that one battle and still be mesmerized, more so than all this fucking CGI shit. And even with CGI, I've seen that in movies that I like more. Edge of Tomorrow, for example. With Tom Cruise, he had that mech thing, and I liked that story more. I liked that character more. I liked his arc more. I find that a much more entertaining film that did not need to take 3 fucking hours. And it's got a James Cameron guy, Bill Paxton, in it. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. But I liked Edge of Tomorrow. That or Collateral are my favorite Tom Cruise movies. Probably Edge of Tomorrow, but Collateral was pretty close. But I like how Stephen Lane, he has like this big fuck off knife. I did maybe the knife on the thing, like you shoot with a gun, if you run out of bullets, then you have this thing that. But the fact he's got like a personal fucking knife, I'm like, that could be anything else? That's a knife. Well, what if you run out of bullets? Well, he has the fucking thing here. Just make another one here, or make like a sword here or something. Not like a big fucking knife. I don't know, that made me laugh. I will say, watch it again. That did make me laugh. I can't help it. The battles, I mean, hell, the animals did seem like more than the Na'vi. Like, the animals are the ones kick more ass. They're not rhinos, but like the body of a rhino, but then they have like these weird different heads. The flying creatures, like they did more work than the other fucking Na'vi did. Sally Michelle Rodriguez gets killed because again, I don't mind her as an actress. Sam Worthington for a while just fucks around on this creature talking to people until it finally does something, takes a ship or two down, and then has the final fight with Stephen Lane. I guess it depends how much you really get enriched with this world. To me, I don't know if it's just I'm not a big fantasy guy. Like Harry Potter, I've seen them all. Some I remember liking, some I don't. If you asked me, what happened in the Order of the Phoenix? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I remember bits of the first one. I remember the last two because it was a 2-part movie. And the first was all build up. And the second was just a big action scene, pretty much. But yeah, if you told me the Half-Blood Prince, what happens to that? I don't fucking know. Is there a prince in it? I don't fucking remember. I did some of them I remember liking, but I can't remember. I can't even remember which ones. I do remember not minding the first one, but the Sorcerer's Stone. But see, I'm not huge in it. Well, I'm huge, but no, I'm not a huge fan where I follow the books and all the stuff about it. Same with what was I going to say, Lord of the Rings. Could never get into them. Not for me, not my cup of tea. Just even fantasy, like I don't mind Willow, I don't mind the Dark Crystal, I don't mind Labyrinth. I like them. I would say more so I like Army of Darkness because of other reasons with that film. Bruce Campbell being the modern guy, the modern humor he brings to it, attitude. But I never really delved into fantasy. Like Dungeons and Dragons, the only thing I liked about that was that movie that came out a few years ago with Chris Pine. I know a lot of people didn't like that one because it is very like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I had fun with that movie. I did. I would see that film again. But yeah, this when I see the plot and I see like I'd rather watch Last Samurai, I'd rather watch Men of War, all these other stuff. I could see where's like when I first saw it, I could like predict where it was going. So it just made me go again. He took all this fucking time, all these years and years and years to make the story ain't worth the shit. It's the fucking visual effects that people gravitate towards, and sometimes that's enough. I can understand it. Some could say Star Wars is the same thing. A boy, a girl, a galaxy far, far away. There, go get the princess. Remind you of a Kurosawa movies, things of that nature. I get that. But I don't know, maybe that one, Star Wars I saw at the age that could embed in my mind more, while Avatar I saw when I was like 27. So different mind state, different state of affairs, different tastes. And so because I see everything that's going and I'm not that invested with most of the characters, I kind of sat there and went, and it just didn't feel like a James Cameron film. It definitely didn't look like a James Cameron film. I did. He wants to do something different, and he found success in it. Not for me. David Cronenberg, I can appreciate, and I like A History of Violence. But the other stuff he did, I'll go more with Videodrome and The Fly remake. Peter Jackson, same thing. Lord of the Rings, Teen Con, Hobbit, you be my guest. I'm not for that shit. I'm much more into Bad Taste, Dead Alive, Frighteners, like I mentioned before. Meet the Feebles. Not everything is going to appeal to everybody. So again, the story didn't do shit for me. The story I thought was very routine, very rote. And again, like, unobtainium, really? And like the sex scene where they put the fucking hair extensions together, I always thought it was a bit fucking weird. Okay. I guess some of the effects, like the CGI cigarette, even her fucking cigarette. If you don't know, each time she has a cigarette, it's CGI. Don't believe me, look it up. I'm like, why even put that in the fucking movie then that she smokes if every fucking scene is going to be a CGI cigarette? You can tell because there's times where the ash won't fucking fall because fucking CG. Like, you have to CGI cigarettes now? Why you have to CG cigarettes now? Fuck if I know. Don't fucking smoke them, don't have them in the movie in the first place then. If that's the fucking case. Just saying. Just saying. What was on? Anything else to this movie? It's already 33 minutes in. The pacing was really sluggish to me at 3 hours. The action scenes very, very, very overly CGI, of course, which just doesn't get me as invested into a scene as the stuff I grew up with. The old school aliens, even martial arts films. Like the Ninja Turtles, one of the reasons I like the first two Ninja Turtle films is I see those turtles, I see their design, which I like, and how real and practical they are. I can feel them, the tangibleness of it. And I buy it, I can believe it. Like that little bit of magic, like when I was a kid. And yeah, they're nostalgic too. But I buy into the magic of it more. When it's just all CGI, I could just tell, even if I try to suspend. And there are movies that have CG that I can. Edge of Tomorrow I mentioned, it has CGI. Battle Los Angeles, which I liked, had CGI. But there's enough other merits there that I could go along with it. Here, for me personally, not so much. Giovanni Ribisi, he was so one-note, he was ridiculous. Stephen Lane, I didn't love him like other people did. The action scenes didn't gravitate me towards the screen like they did other people. I wasn't as in love with some of the visuals like other people were, and then the ones I did, I'm like, well, I didn't appreciate it, but I don't care for the designs like the Navi. The store, I thought James Horner did much better. Hell, even Titanic, I thought he did a good job in that store. This, I thought, was one of his more forgettable pieces of music. It's such a routine story and script that just I didn't give a fuck about. The characters, for the most part, I didn't give a fuck about, like I said already. So, yeah, Avatar, and that's why I never saw the second film. I never cared to. I don't give a shit about fire and ash. More like fucking ass. I do not care. And they're 3 hours as well, each of them. And then he's going to make another one, what, 2027 and maybe 2029, and maybe he'll make more, maybe not. I don't fucking care. I'm tired of this shit. That's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. Take care. I know it's not a lot of fire and anger and vitriol, but number one, it's been one of those nights. I wanted to get this done. Number two, I knew what I was in for. I'm not going to sit here and say this is one of the worst films ever. Far from it. Or one even the worst blockbuster films ever. I can name a number of recent superhero films like Black Widow or Thunderbolts that I think are worse than this. But yeah, I do think this is overrated. I do think it was overhyped. You know what? It is my least favorite James Cameron film. When I did a commentary, I had so little to say because of my whatever. I had so little to say about the fucking movie. Because it's like a bunch of visuals that maybe it was photorealistic at the time. Some of them are, some of them And I don't care about this world. This world didn't look that enticing to me. Didn't look that interesting to me. I would never want to go to Pandora. I would not give a fuck about going to Pandora. I'd rather go to that fucking stupid looking rave and Matrix Reloaded. Because at least some of the women look hotter. And they're real. But yeah, I didn't give a fuck about Pandora. Didn't give a fuck about the story. And the lead character, like I said, I don't blame Sam Worthington. It's just a very basic character. It's a basic character. And that's just how I feel about it. So, take that for you will. Thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.